What you thought? Adam Vice Hawk. And who is he? Who he be? Bitch, we Illuminati. Moving in the dark, keep it out the way. Scheming on the low, master plan and play. Ops wanna talk, but they do what we say. Got the secret code, gotta pay to stay. Got it with the Glock Illuminati crew. Body after body, they don't got a clue.
Yo, what up? It's Doenut, and you tuned into all yo Illuminati news. We got a big show for you today with special guest star Tommy Truthful of the Truth Mafia. What's going on?
Hey, Doenut, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I just woke up. I got my espresso.
Oh yeah, you're looking good over there with the nice hair, the dolphin behind you. I see the little dolphin chilling.
Thank you. And we're going to dive right into this show that you recommended, which blew me away. I really like it. It's called Pluribus. And it goes into a lot of crazy agendas that is absolutely nuts. And first, the show, am I saying it right? Pluribus?
Yeah, I think, the best we can pronounce it, Pluribus.
I mean, it's on our freaking money, Pluribus, which means out of many one, as you always got the Latin in the Illuminati. They read Latin. But I think this is very much connected because in the beginning of the show, there is 12 individuals that they're saying at first who won't go under this brainwave type of I'm going to be careful with a lot of the wording in the first few minutes of this stream, but don't get infected by this happiness contagion.
Kind of a parasite, right?
Yes.
Let's see that.
But then in the third episode, it talks about there's 13, and the 13 is very symbolic. It's all over the money, and it's even connected to the shields with the 13 initials of the 13 original colonies. But in this film, it's connected to like everything, where all these people in this movie get connected. They all become the crowd mind, which is actually a Masonic concept of the world brain by H.G. Wells. Right here, you got the world brain, which everything becomes like an encyclopedia, which right here comes from a global knowledge network that predates Wells. And it's actually an objective of Freemasonry. So there's a lot of craziness in this show, but everybody is connected. Their minds, at least in the beginning, that's what they're saying. And there's the movie The Cell right here, where everyone gets connected to the frequencies of the cell phones. And even if we go into the technocracy agenda, the top guy of the FCC, he says that the Internet of Everything, the IoE, if something can be connected, it will be connected in this world. And this goes all the way back to the concept of energy web as well in 1999 by the BPA with this smart grid. So this film, everyone pretty much becomes a part of the smart grid. That's just a quick synopsis at first.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. The astronomers pick up some like mysterious radio signal from space, right? And they think they don't know what it is. Is it aliens? What's going on here? It's hidden in the signal is a strand of code. It's kind of like an instruction, a recipe, and then scientists follow that recipe and accidentally create a consciousness altering parasite, and that parasite spreads through humanity, rewiring these people into one calm, happy hive mind. The
Yeah.
you know that's what they try to like show you. It's a beautiful thing to be part of, right? The programming.
Well, yeah, and the masses would like that. So I'm happy you brought that up because in this film, they get this message from outer space and it's all symbolic. This goes back to, there's so much symbolism in the show. And they're getting this code, which looks like they think it's a piano beat at first. And there's 4 different codes coming from the space station, but really what it is a as you see right here, they think it's just like a piano, but really it's a sequence to create a new human species. And this goes back to the story of like the Anunnaki, how there's this weird time like glimpse in our world where humans just seem to just get here with a different type of code in our system. And that's exactly what's going on. And even this whole system that they have up here, I chat GPT'd it and I was like, tell me about this. And it's just explained it exactly what the show was saying. So there is very much a lot of detail in the show, but they're creating this new human.
Yeah, it was a good show. Once I seen it, bro, I knew I had to have you watch it because, you know, it's really what their whole objective is right now, right? It's not like it's an overnight objective with these so-called elites, but this is what it's leading up to with technology. And that technology will then harvest the energy signature of the masses. And this energy signature we've come to know as prana, chi, loosh is spelled Loosh. So they're using technology in this kind of like Donut said earlier when we seen this show Cell with John Cusick. Wasn't that the name of that show?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very similar to that. And it's crazy too because I was watching it. I think it was on the 3rd episode, and I screenshotted Donut a screenshot of her address, and it's the 128 code, guys.
Yes, and I'll get into the 128 code here in a moment. There's even more 128. There's a lot of numerology, and I'm excited to see how the show continues because of that. Like the number 6 pops up a lot, and it goes into group think. But like you brought up the cell, we even see the same thing happen in KFC commercials. So this is a lot of programming of soft disclosure or hard disclosure, whatever you want to call it, where in the Believe in Chicken commercial, they get a frequency sent from the radio towers. Right here, she hears it, and then it takes over her and she starts convulsing, just like in the show.
Yep.
And they're watching the TV. It's happening right here. And there is a connection to the AI with it for sure. But everyone gets taken over by this. So we're seeing this in the movie Cell. We're seeing this in commercials. And it's sort of a soft disclosure. And look, you see how they're all circling around the
chick in the arc, which is the Archon, you know, it's
day off.
Well, no, it's a Brassix. Yaldabaoth.
Braxis. Okay.
Yeah, Yaldabaoth is the demiurge. He's above a Brassix, but that's a Brassix. That's the archetype of a Brassix. Whenever you see that chicken, Just like, remember the one where they were all dressed in brown and then they kind of took them into the lake of gravy and offered them up as an offering
Sure.
in that
Sure.
KFC chicken commercial, and they had the golden egg in that, which gets into the egg of creation, right?
Yep. And that what Tommy's talking about is this commercial, which is part 2 of it. So, and look how they're filming it. I mean, it's filmed. I mean, they're spending millions of dollars for this production. They're all wearing the
They,
brown.
they say brown hides from certain higher levels of consciousness. So I found that interesting that they're using the color brown. It kind of masks them and hides them from the upper ethereal realms and taps you into the lower dimensions. And you see they're offering him up as an offering, and then he comes back up as a chicken, which symbolically, wonder
Yeah,
what that means.
they're gonna eat him. They're gonna consume him.
Yes.
And so the show does have a lot of zombie elements too, but they all become part of the group think, which is a phenomenon that is absolutely happening with social media. You have the ratio, the collective, the hive mind. And Gustav Le Bon talked about this in his study of the popular mind, the crowd, and how everyone does like fall into a socialist, utopia agenda of joining the crowd and being safe within their group collective. And that's what I also really like about the show is the individual aspect of the lady who doesn't like the plebe. She's very resentful and angry. She even looking at the aurora borealis, and we just had the aurora borealis happen all over America on like
Yeah, the Aurora Borealis.
yes. And so this whole group mind, which I'll get into some of these slides here in a minute, she doesn't want to be part of it, just like in the show The Prisoner. But yeah, I'll get into that here in a moment. Here's some cool slides of the pre-apocalypse of it happening when everyone is getting taken over by this mind virus. Oops, I said that wrong word. I think that would be okay. Yeah. And if I keep on continuing pushing on, it should be fine. And they're showing on the TV the air base is locked down because they are spreading it through the trails of smoke in the sky from the planes. So that's how everyone got, like, definitely, like, if you're like, how did everyone like get it in the bar? It's because that's how.
Yeah. And we see these in our own skies, which if you think back when you were a child and you would lay up and look up at the sky, you would see a jet fly over and that would dissipate within, 30 to 60 seconds. Now it doesn't dissipate anymore. You see it start to spread. It looks like kind of like they're hitting it with the frequency and then it spreads out in the sky. It stays up there and lingers. So they're really showing you how they're spreading this hive mind parasite to humanity, which they got that 4 letters, that 4 sequence, and 4 is the number tied to alchemy as well. So that it's a real breakdown of that inner alchemy, how they're recreating this new human, this new hive mind, right? You have the 4 directions, the 4 corners, the 4 elements. So yeah, it's very fascinating, and that's just humanity, right? They get this, they know nothing about it, and there they go right ahead trying to create it, like not even studying it or nothing.
Yeah, and so right here's the 4 different waves that they're talking about that's coming from this this planet, and this goes into even the 4 worlds as well. And so like this is so wild. I'll get to that here in a second. The following contains sequence of flashing lights or patterns. Did you notice they play this before every single time
Yep.
they do it? Which I didn't see much flashing at all. And I think this is just like something that it's in a lot of shows, but the flicker rate of the television and the flashing lights seen in movies by the head of Hollywood, Mel Gibson, in his conspiracy theory movie, they show the MK Ultra flashing lights or the patterns. And maybe this is some sort of like, hey, they got to tell you what they're doing, that even in this show, they're putting us under a spell.
Yep.
Could be. I don't know. That's kind of what I think. Because we're entering a cyberdelic type phase. And even Elon Musk, just recently, I don't have it pulled up, but let me pull it up. He's tweeting about the cyberdelics. And this is something that I've been talking about and covering for quite a while. They were getting everybody on belief changing psilocybin and different things to, get people, tripping to reset their belief system, as the shamanic AI will be the one in control of that changing of the system. But here is Elon Musk's newest tweet. Let me pull this up. And he's showing a kitty cat, which is cool. But I write cyberdelics coming soon and show the I can never pronounce it, but the mushroom of the Mascaria amarito. I always say it wrong. But he says hallucinogenic mushroom trip. And this is, priming, because what's going to be happening here shortly, which has been on the agenda, is the cyberdelics, which is connected to the dark enlightenment and the technocracy takeover, as we covered in the last show, which is all stemming from this counterculture psychedelic phase that happened in 1980s. And Timothy Leary, who said the PC is the LSD of the 1990s, and he admonished this turn in, tune in, and drop out, which was popularized with the LSD hippie movement, transforming the culture, transmutation through an alchemical ritual. And the newest one would have turned into eventually turn on, boot up, and jack in, which goes into a movie that he was actually working on in a video game called Neuromancer. And this is the video game Neuromancer, which is a book which sort of revolutionized a lot of the earlier concepts of the cyberpunk age, the cyberpunk movie. And here's the book on it. And interesting enough, this is just how weird thing we're hitting the money. We're right spot on with the cyberdelic information, because this show Pluribus is on Apple TV. And I believe Apple is who controls the Super Bowl. It used to be Pepsi. I think it's Apple now. I don't know. But Apple TV, their new show that's about to come out, is the Neuromancer. It is the show coming out. So these agendas are all kind of intermixed.
Yeah, and do you see that thing I added right there? Could you add that real quick to show them? So for any of you guys that don't think this is true,
Where is it?
Down at the bottom, you should be able to add that to the stage. I shared my screen thing.
I see. Yeah, I got
slide. You. Yeah. So any of you that don't think this is true, they have what Donut was talking about, the flicker rates with TVs. They have patents on nervous system manipulation by these electromagnetic fields from the monitors, so it's pretty crazy. You ever notice when you watch a Netflix series or something like that, you see all them colors come at you, the last color's red. There's something embedded in there that is affecting your subconscious, your psyche, and we have patents on it, so that the flicker rate is having an effect on our mind, our subconscious, without us even knowing it. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to show them, brother.
Yeah, and there's this book I read back in the day called The 4 Arguments of the Illumination of Television. And thank you so much, Elizabeth, for the wicked smart super chat saying, breaking. Something hit our magnetic field. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. For super chat, we fed the kitty cat, got kitty cat super fat. And here is the book I read back in the day in 2012. And I went over the 4 arguments of the elimination of television. Jordan Maxwell recommended it. And I'd go to the bookstore, and I was so broke, obviously, couch surfing. And the only thing I could afford was like $1 or $2 to go get a coffee and go to the bookstore and read on my Wicked Smart journey. But I'm a slow learner, so it's taken a while. But it talked about this flicker rate or whatever. But I'm getting wicked smart, and I'm almost done reading this book, Closer Encounters. And the chapter that I'm on actually goes over the history of a lot of different religions, going back to the Anunnaki, and different, concepts of like a Garden of Eden being a laboratory in a sense for creating like a human species with this new type of CRISPR technology and whatnot. So I even highlighted some of that, which I'll talk about, because this coding is that's what they're doing. And so this isn't a new story in here. This story has been told before. So the Anunnaki finally decided that only something modeled very close on themselves would work. And this kind of goes into the like the breeding program. So this message from another solar system, they're using humans because we're the most like them. And right here, it goes into the different technologies. And this thing called the junk D, that's what I'll call it. The junk D, y'all can see what I'm saying. There's this huge skip in our code as a human, as if someone or something put a new type of code in us that makes us so much different from the rest of the animal world. So it just goes into that here, which I thought is sort of interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is fascinating that what they call the junk code in our human biology, right? Which is really something they turned off. It's something they shut off within us. And it seems like with this is another variation they created. And it's fascinating because most, there's you said there, what they say, there was 12 of the people in the whole world that wasn't affected by it. Was that the number originally?
Yeah, they originally said 12 people, which kind of brings me back to like the 12 tribes, right? So you got the 12 tribes.
The 12 zodiacs, the 12 disciples. But guess what? You were just mentioning the Anunnaki, and the head father is Anu. And
Right.
that's in the oldest form of gematria called Chaldean. That's what his name equals, 12. So, it makes sense they built this whole matrix after him. But go ahead.
Yes. And the 78 is also important in this show because the code that they send repeats every 78 seconds, which is how many cards there are in the tarot. There are 78 cards. 78, I believe, in gematria is even Allah. And they talked about the 600 light years, which goes into this Cygnus constellation, which is where we get the Northern Cross from. And the beginning of the show, it shows the time right here. So I added up the time, 439 days if it was starting at January 1st, like the first day of the year. We don't know what day this is that's starting, but let's say it's the first day of the year. It lands on the Ides of March, which is this conspiracy, a real conspiracy of the assassination of Julius Caesar, being stabbed 23 times, the 23 Enigma. And that is sort of what's going on here in the show. And this is absolutely going on in the show too, because let me pull up right here towards the end of it. You know that they're nefarious, even though they are like all happy, and it's all about these like happy, smiling people that want you to join their cult. You know that they're nefarious because they say they can't hurt anything. They can't hurt people, that your life is your own. And this is how you know they're nefarious, because she is asking if she can talk to the president, right? To this guy. And he remarks back that no, you can't talk to the president because that individual passed away this evening, unfortunately. Now, how could the most protected person in the entire world that happen to? He would be the most protected out of anybody. So they took over all of Congress, the senior members of the United States, and all of that first, which shows that they're nefarious.
Well,
And
remember too, Donut, certain people, they couldn't sync up with this code. So it took out a lot of them. A lot of them passed away, including her girlfriend that she was in love with. She got hit by the code, and her body rejected it. So she also passed away. There was like,
that's a good point. Good point.
yeah, like 80 million people or something, or it might have
800, yeah, 800
800 million people, their body rejected it, right? So
Right.
they pass away. And it's fascinating because the whole hive mind, there's this little kid when they're on the airplane, and the little kid, she's like, he knows how to do surgery, he can be a doctor, he can fly the airplanes, a 9-year-old. And this lady's telling, when she's finally talking to the normal people, the people that are immune to this parasite, this mind parasite, which gets into the archons, they can all tap into each other's knowledge base. And even the people that passed away, they still have their knowledge base saved up and synced up with them. Remember, Donut?
Yes. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that they passed away because they know every memory from them. Because she kept getting upset and saying, my girlfriend is off limits, because they had every memory from her girlfriend.
Yeah, it becomes the world brain. And so this is another thing, is that we will figure out what makes you different, right? This goes into that individual and who you are as a soul, on this planet, and the collective group think, group mind. And the group mind wants to fix it so she can join the collective society, join the ratio, join the group, which makes people feel comfortable and all that. You can join us, and it's all about us. They identify as we, us.
No more individuality, guys. And the scary part too, bro. She's like, okay, so they're like, yeah, you are your own person. You can do whatever you want. You're free. We're not here to hurt you. They're telling her this, but then she's like, okay, if that's true, then you guys ain't going to try to turn me into you. They're like, oh, no, yeah, we are. We're working on that right now to fix you guys, to merge the rest of you with us, to find out what makes you special and why your biology rejected this upload sequence.
Yeah. And so that was the big thing. You said my life was my own. They keep on saying that your life is your own. My life is my own. And that's a famous saying from The Prisoner. I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbered. My life is my own. And this is prisoner number 6. And I did notice a lot of 6s wherever she's at. Like at the terminal, she's getting her bag and walking by number 6. So there's like a lot of 6s with her, which I think is paying homage to the prisoner number 6, which is the same story. Yeah, it's like the same story. If y'all haven't checked this show out, where he goes into this society. He wakes up into this society where everyone is a collective and happy about it, and everyone has their role in the society. And very good film. And
Also
so
pays homage to Saturn, the sixth planet from the sun, which is where the whole hive mind comes from, the Saturn moon matrix, right? And it ties into that as well, the six. So I didn't
mhm.
know about that other movie you were talking about, that older one you just showed there. That's very fascinating.
Yeah, it's you'll love it. It's a TV show. It's really good. And right here is the constellation, the Cygnus constellation that's sending this out. So this did a lot of research in the 600 light years away, and they tell us exactly what it is, you know. So I was like, 600 light years away, where's that? It tells us exactly the symbolism. This is the swan that they're showing us. But the four different codes that they're sending, this sequence to change the whole entire human race right here, is the guac, GUAC, which is how you like create a lot of these new technologies for humans. And it's coming from this Kepler 22 solar system. This is the Kepler 22, maybe not in solar system, but that's also important to it, where this message is coming from. So they can create this group hive mind with everybody. But how this is connected to the four worlds as well with the four, this is the Cygnus constellation, which is symbolized as the Northern Cross. And a lot of these ancient societies talked about this swan. It's the swan right here. All the different, a lot of different cultures, old cultures, talked about this Northern Cross, where it's coming from. Very interesting. It's where they say the first black hole came from as well. Even Rush did a album called Cygnus X1. And this mythology of this constellation we can see goes back to ancient Egypt. It goes back to a lot of different alchemy. It is very symbolic.
And remember they were getting that sequence every 78 seconds, brother?
Mm-hmm.
Could you throw up what I just added down there? Add that to the screen really quick.
Yes,
I
sir.
just want to show them. Now, this is in Latin Gematria, which is the original. It's the one cipher that's actually Gematria. Okay, it's the original one. And look what is in that 78 code: hacking, and that's what they're doing, hacking the human biology to hook them up to the hive mind. You also see chicken is in that 78, and Donut showed it's literally embedded into the KFC chicken commercial, you know, with that Abraxas archetype in there. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just thought that was very fascinating that them two things equals 78, and that sequence was coming through every 78 seconds. So,
Yeah, and that there's 78 tarot cards as well. And that sequence is this code that's being created, the guac code, right? It spells out guac, which is funny. Um, right here, you see the G, the U, the A, the C,
yeah.
and it's the four worlds as well, which goes into the tarot cards. Each tarot card's connected to um, this is as well as, and then you got the earth, air,
Four
water,
elements.
fire. Then you got the pentacle, sword, cup, wands. So there's a lot of occult esoteric information in this. And this being a brainwave technology, some sort of fifth generation type warfare of psionics. They even write the word psionic in the show, but they spell it differently, which it's not a word how they spelt it. They spelled it PSY onyx. So somebody went in and typed that word psionics into it. Psionics was popularized in the 60s of this like psychokinesis type of psychic phenomenon, reading the alien's brain here in Captain Science, reading the alien's brain.
Remember, she keeps asking them too, "Are you guys aliens? Are you?" And they're like, "No, we're not aliens. We're not." They keep like ensuring
Yes.
her that they're not aliens, but they definitely. I mean, this code comes from all these thousands of light years away. So what?
They're beneficiaries of extraterrestrial technology.
Yeah,
They say,
yeah, yeah.
we're not aliens. We are, however, beneficiaries of alien technology. So someone's above them, right? They
Right.
got some sort of alien tech from someone else. Interesting.
There's also a little homage right there on that screen where you got the satellites and then you see all the wheat. Ain't that wheat right there?
Hmm.
And anytime you see Saturn, what was Saturn? The god of the harvest. So there's a lot of connection to Saturn that people don't even catch in this symbolically. They're tying it back where the whole hive-mind comes from. That's what he was originally, Kronos. He's the god of the harvest.
Yes. And then also the crop circles, and then the C-SPAN doing the alien disclosure
Yeah.
as well. There's a lot of that. Yeah. What else we got? So the psionics was popularized, and it goes into cybernetics. So cybernetics is managing the population, right? Cybernetics is the transdisciplinary study of circular causal systems, biological, cognitive, social systems, designing, learning, managing, and it's pretty much the management of the population. And it's cybernetic. So a lot of this is connected to the technocracy that's happening, that we've been talking about in a lot of shows.
Gone Grey Wolf. Yeah, you're right in the comments there. Separating the wheat from the tars. There is probably a connection there as well. If you look real deep into it, that's interesting. And Pluribus, you see how it's 118 right there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, go on your calculator and type in the matrix, bro.
That's 118.
Yeah, it's 118. It's 118 in the same exact cipher. So they're showing you symbolically that's what they're trying to do. It's all tied to technology, hooking you up to the hive-mind, hooking you up to this matrix, right?
It's the Leviathan cross too, 118.
Yep. There's the chicken in it again. Look, the chicken between a chicken and a
Yeah.
chicken. Wow.
Yeah, so that's what I thought was interesting. But also, look, it says there's the 118 letters. That's why I put it there.
I see that. But then the chicken's there too.
And the chicken, yeah. I'll read this.
Yeah, read that, brother.
Yeah, okay. HR1 is a code sequence that is part of a highly conserved D, which remains stable over tens of millions of years. This is part of our genome that used to be referred to as junk D. The mutational difference between a chicken and a chimpanzee in the HAR1 of 118 letters consists of only 2 letters, whereas the difference between chimpanzees and humans in the same sequence is 18 letters. HAR plays a key role in the development of the cerebral cortex. Before the sudden 18-letter mutation, which differentiated humans from their common ancestors with chimpanzees, the average rate of mutation of HAR was 1 letter in the genetic sequence every 150 million years. How then was it possible for 18 letters to change in about 6 million years? Geneticists do not know. So what's happening here is what probably happened to us. Pretty nuts.
It is pretty nuts. I mean, I'm so excited for this series because there's just so much to it, and I added another little thing real quick if you want to add that, since we can tie it into the 118 that you just showed. just to show the people, they love the visuals. But the Matrix is 118, guys. And this is on my personal website, truthfultv.com. That's where I do all my decodes. So if you want to find out your little role in this simulated reality, what your code is, whether or not you're an NPC, first player character, that link is in my description and in Donut's description. But Altered Carbon is 118, matching the Matrix. And you see it's literally, and this is in the English ordinal cipher, so it just follows the English alphabet, where A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, all the way through Z is 26. And Altered Carbon was about this same type of thing, getting them into clones, and where they could live forever as long as they had the stack in the back of their head. Now, if that stack ever got blown out, then that was the end of your consciousness. You couldn't, but these elites, they lived up in this cloud city, and they had their consciousness being uploaded in real time, like on this every 15 minutes. So if their stack ever got blown out, they could just re-download their consciousness and upload it again. You could upload it to different bodies. But yeah, that's the key of the Matrix right there, that 118 code. So interesting. Great catch on that, bro. With the 118 being, the key code to this Apple series. Sorry, I took that off of there.
And I'm pretty sure I learned this from you, but the Leviathan cross, you can see the 118
yeah,
right there.
Yeah. I actually learned that from I think it was Matrix Codebreaker might have taught me that back in the day. I forget, but yeah, if you flip that, you flip it on its side, invert it to the left, right? You see, it's the 118, guys. So it's the key to reality, the code of reality. Flip it around, the 811. There's a huge connection there. And then if you guys remember, Little Nas X, remember when he released them 666 pairs of shoes with the drop of blood in them?
Yeah.
He sold, so it said Luke 118 on the side, which talks about Lucifer being casted down from heaven in a lightning bolt, which translates to Barack Obama's name loosely. And then he sold them shoes for $1,018, which is the 118 code.
Oh, yeah. And so that lightning bolt symbolism goes into the four worlds as well with this. This is that lightning bolt going down to Earth from this place. Very symbolic. And I want to play a clip because The Economist magazine was just released. Were you able to check this out at all, The Economist magazine?
Bro, I mean, there's so much symbolism in that. You did so great. I don't even know how you caught that pentagram in there. I was like, how the heck did Donut catch that? Because when I went and looked at it, just clearly, I didn't catch it at first, but then when I watched your video, I seen it. I'm like, whoa, they really embedded that in there. And then look down in the bottom left. I'm sure you already covered this, but there's a lot of plugs in there with big pharma, and that's how they plan to hook us up to this hive-mind. Look at the little, the jabber down in the bottom left-hand corner. Do you see it, Donut? Right. Yeah. And then there's pills all through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been reading this issue.
Oh, and the red balloons, bro. The red balloons are in it. And we got the new series trending, Welcome to Derry, with it, which gets into this whole Loosh harvesting as well. We'll get into that a little later, but that's all about the red balloons. Because I got a little presentation that I'm working on. I'm doing a video on that. And I'll touch on it towards the end after we break this down. But it's very connected to the red balloons, which was one of mine and Donut's first decodes we did on a music video. Do you remember that music video, Donut, that had the bridge over in the UK with the red balloons me and you decoded? And it was all tied to the alien agenda when we broke that video down.
Yeah, I want to hear about that. And I'm reading this issue right now with The Economist. I'll go to a clip behind the scenes kind of stuff of The Economist magazine. and talking about the Illuminati.
Who think that we've somehow got an inside track from the Illuminati or whatever is, well, in that case, why would we ever get anything wrong? And their answer is, well, to cover your tracks.
Very good. If you are bored at any time, go and search the further reaches of YouTube, and you too will be amused by this. But it does actually affect what we do, because I remember when you showed me the first version of this cover, the football player at the bottom was actually Donald Trump kicking the world, and I thought that would unleash all kinds of conspiracy theories. So I decided we should probably better have a football player.
So, yeah, I got it. All right. So that person kicking the FIFA ball is supposed to be Donald Trump, but they changed it, and you see the X right here. It's got its thing right into the cord of the game being plugged into the brain, and the red balloon. But all these different pills are the new Ozempic pills that are going to be coming out that are digestible rather than injectable. And right here, this is connected to the Odyssey, Homer in the Homer Odyssey, and they're actually tripping on mushrooms in the psilocybin being pushed on all these different, big Wall Street Journal, Economist Magazine stuff. They touch on how they're tripping balls as well. Yeah. And then right there, I was like, these are the pennies. That's Abe Lincoln. And now pennies are gone. And very, very interesting. This is the most interesting, though, the Trojan horse, because this would be a Trojan horse, what they talked about as well in the show. This being a Trojan horse aiming towards America in the centennial of the 250 years of the founding of the Illuminati. That kind of goes into the story of the Trojan horse mythologically, when it goes into the freaking Cygnus constellation where this message is coming from. I saw that. I didn't read much on it, but right here. Oh, maybe it wasn't. Oh, no, not a Trojan horse. It's a Trojan War. Achilles fights Cygnus in the Trojan War.
Oh,
so very symbolic. Yeah. I like to hear about what you got, and we're crushing upon 1,000 people tuning in. We're streaming all over the place, over on Rumble, Twitter, YouTube, and over on Tommy's channel as well. Make sure to click that link below and go subscribe to Tommy's YouTube, and smash the like button and share the video out so we can get this to over 2,000 people watching live. Tommy, will you tell us about these red balloons? Because that show, it did just come out. I like to hear about that while I make a cup of espresso.
Yeah. Go make your cup of espresso. I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek of this breakdown that I'm doing on it. So real quick, I'm just going to, a lot of people don't realize that
You got some slides or anything?
No, I didn't even, because I didn't get a hold of you in time. So.
Okay. I'll pull it up. I'll pull up the it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Derry. Yeah, yes. Right there. Like, look. Oh my goodness! Look at the red balloon.
Yep, the red balloon. So
go pulled it up. Like Google had the red balloon pop up right there.
Yeah, but wow. There's red balloons everywhere right now, and it actually belongs to a family that people don't even know about. So let me read this little, I'm going to read this little breakdown that I'm doing for my video, guys, and you guys are going to be the first to hear it. When we think of Pennywise, the dancing clown, we picture a monster grinning from the dark, feeding on fear. But what if fear wasn't just what he fed on? What if it was energy itself? Because beneath the red balloons and the creepy laughs, Pennywise isn't just hunting flesh. He's harvesting that loosh, that pure emotional energy that leaks from human souls, especially the youth. When they are terrified, suffering, you know what I'm saying? That's what powers him. That's what he's addicted to. Loosh is that, it's spelled Loosh, like I mentioned in the beginning. It's that life force, that chi, that prana. It's the spiritual plasma that flows through creation. The same symbolism that secret societies call the chrome, and then you put the word adrena in front of that. You guys get what I'm saying. And the entity behind Pennywise, has been harvesting that energy long before mankind could even name it. He didn't crawl out of a circus tent. He fell from the macroverse, a dimension outside of time and light. He crashed here before humans walked the earth, buried deep beneath what we now call Derry, Maine. And when children came along, he finally had his food source to match his appetite. So this entity, every 27 years, guys, he wakes up and the feeding frenzy begins. But he's not feeding on the bodies, he's draining their souls. That's why he tries to get them really scared. He's like, it's like getting the food ready, right? He gets that fear, that adrenaline going before he harvests the child. And here's where it gets pretty crazy. The fact that this entity returns every 27 years, if you look into Pythagorean gematria, ritual equals 27. That's called reduction, right? Reduction gematria. So every 27 years, we have this loose harvesting ritual. We have the 27 Club in Hollywood. There's a big connection with this 27. But that's when he rises, the clown, and comes into this 27-year cycle. The clown is just the disguise, a mask for something ancient and cosmic, a parasite of the multiverse, feeding on the emotional current of creation. And every time he takes a little one, he's not just taking a life, he's taking that spark. That's the same spark the dark entities crave across worlds, from Pennywise to the shadows feeding behind your TV screen. Now, what's wild is Pennywise isn't alone. He's part of a cosmic bloodline, beings that were born from the very beginning, the architects of creation and destruction. His brother is Metatron the turtle. Now Metatron's good.
Metatron the turtle.
Yeah, Maturion, however you pronounce it. Maturion the turtle. He's the guardian, the balance and peace. The two are opposite. One feeds on chaos, the other gives birth to light. Now, in the new Welcome to Derry, if you type in Welcome to Derry, the turtle school mascot. In the first episode, they show you the mascot at the school is the turtle. And on the school sign out there, it's warning you about it because we're coming into a 27-year cycle. So there's a big warning on the school sign with the turtle as the mascot because that's its brother. He's the good one that protects humanity. And the father, a being known as Gan, Gan, the ultimate creator, the dreamer of the whole universe. So Gan imagined everything. And from that dream came both light and shadow. In Gnostic understanding, Gan reflects the source of all creation, the original divine consciousness. His light birthed both order and the spark of creation itself. Then there's Bessa. Bessa is the mother of all energy, that raw emotion. She's the chaos, right? The chaos energy. Her energy parallels Sophia, the Gnostic mother of wisdom. And she's the one that fell from Pleroma that created the demiurge, which is it. That's what it represents. He represents Yaldabaoth, the demiurge. So in the mythic mirror, Gan is the source, Bessa is Sophia, and Pennywise is the demiurge, the false god, feeding on energy instead of creating it. He's the one that Gan, the source, sent back Jesus to expose this false god and not the Gnostic belief system. And his mother's essence lives through him in this series, right? Because she's not a good one. Now, if you look into Gnostic cosmology, Sophia, her really only downfall was creating the demiurge. She wasn't really evil herself, but she tried to create it without her male counterpart, and it created this terrifying thing that only feeds on fear, which is very much what it is doing in this new series. So that's just a little touch on what I'm working on with this whole family tree. That'll be coming out probably Tuesday, but it's very interesting because it gets into the Dark Tower, bro, and the Crimson King, which is the Dark Patriarch of the whole family tree. He's a different kind of feeder, so he's not good either, but he feeds on like a different kind of energy, right? The joy, the happiness, which you would think would be good, but it's not. Yeah, Stephen King's universe too, when you research Stephen King and where he was inspired from, there's many, he even tells you he was inspired from H.P. Lovecraft and the whole, that whole mythos. So then that gets into True Detectives and the Yellow King. So the Crimson King and Yellow King are pretty much the same archetypal entity. But yeah, the red balloons, bro.
So right there, there's the red balloons all over the place, just like that show that just came out with which is very popular. Here's a satellite which was shown in it. So it's all seems to be interconnected for the world ahead 2026. And here is the video that we did, the Ember Rituals, the collapsing bridge symbolism. We predicted the bridge to the exact like code with 128 as well. I learned about the 128 code from Tommy. And when they're reading the book in the beginning of this Pluribus show, she says, go to page 218, which is the 128 code. It's the time Joe Biden sent out that number. But I'm going to play a little bit of this video because I haven't seen it. This was our first video we did together a while ago.
Yeah, I'm interested to see it too. And then when we come back, I got something for you on that 218 tied to Mr. Jeffrey, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, sure, Mr. Jeffrey. Yes. Okay, so I'm not going to play the video, but I'm going to go through just the slides just because I don't have it uploaded, which should be fine. Look how young we were. We were so young.
To go back in time, right?
Yeah. So yeah, man, I haven't seen this in a minute, but we did a lot of talk about this. Oh yeah, the young blood guy, Avril Lavigne. Okay, so I learned this from you that it's Avril, the aristocratic elite harnessing the Akasha energy that was written in the Sanskrit. This is the aristocratic elite that I believe a lot of these the number one podcasters of the planet who are talking about conspiracies, I believe they're working for this aristocratic elite doing occult magic rituals, but it's Avril Lavigne.
It is. It's all tied to that Vril society, that Thule society. Yeah, this was an interesting one. And I wrote a whole blog on it. I don't remember where the blog went because I that was back during the Tommy Truthful days. Yeah, we got into the Vikings and how that bridge collapsed at 38 minutes in. And that's on the cover of Murder by Numbers. And Sandra Bullock was 38 years old when she shot that film, Murder, Death, R.I.P. is all 38. You know what I'm saying? So it's very fascinating to look at. And yeah, we were looking at the balloons back then, bro. So we was so far ahead of the curve. It's fascinating to see how people take our content and try to repurpose it. And
well, that's what these top podcasters are doing. They're taking the content of not just us, but a lot of the giants that came before us as well, with no sourcing at all.
No, and they're see, so they're taking it and they're diluting it and watering it down, bro, to where they're getting rid of the original message behind it. You know what I mean? It's so
Well, they're omitting key aspects. They just want to make it a divide and conquer strategy. That's why they're working for the aristocratic elite.
Yeah.
That's one of the telltale signs for me.
No, I think you're 100% right, bro. Damn, we were good. We did good on that video. I forgot all about this video. We were knocking.
Yeah, so right here is Avril Lavigne, and she's Marina Orsic with the long blonde hair and the blue eyes.
Yep.
This was all promoted by Blink 182. This is a huge Thule, which means the Atlantis Society agenda.
Blink 182. And there's the 128. So whatever numeral. Oh yeah, I did a whole breakdown on that and the number 24 and tying into Jupiter. I remember that. But with the 128 code, guys, it doesn't just show up as 128. It can express itself any which way you can rearrange them numbers. So Donut's very right. If you see it 218, 821, it can express itself in many different ways, right? So here's a trending one. Let me add this to, this is going to blow your guys' mind after we're done watching this little thing. Hold on, let's share screen. Boom. Here's the 218 code. Whenever this gets done. Yeah, we were way ahead of it on the bridge, bro. Look, I don't even want to say his name, but you guys know the Jeffrey guy. His files petition now has the 218th signature, and this just released on November 12th. So I promise you this, mark my words, something big is coming. Every time they start to bring this back up, they do one of these stage false flag events to divert society's attention away and get them focusing on something else, just like they did with that whole Kirk situation. So now it's starting to come back up. They're starting to expose, certain people, and boom, they'll hit us with another major event. But there's the 128 code right in there. And did you have a shot, Donut, of the film that we're breaking down now, her address that I sent you with the 128 on it?
Let me see if I should have had that pulled up. I took a screenshot of it, but I didn't send it to my email. Oh no, I have it right here. Hold on one second.
Because it's actually expressed like 1028, which you would drop the 0. And guys, the first D-Wave quantum computer was 128 qubits. Here's something very fascinating. Let me tell you this. Okay, so 128. 128 is a grounding number. 846 is a charging number. Think of 9/11. The first plane hits the tower. Bam, 8:46 a.m. in the morning, charging the ritual. Now, if you spell out 128 in Sumerian gematria, it equals 846. Them two numbers are interconnected. And then the tower collapsed at 10:28 a.m., grounding that ritual. We've seen Leave the World Behind come out on 12/8, which revealed their whole plan. Our boy Matthew Perry passed away October 28th, which is also the 128 code. And Donut, when I seen this address, I was thinking of that picture you found in front of the tennis, the person with it on their shirt in front of that tennis.
Yeah, we got 128.
Ain't it expressed that same way though? 1208 in that image.
Mm-hmm.
That you always used to show where the girl has it on her shirt, and then there's like she's on the tennis court or something.
That's when the end of the world was happening. I'm gonna play a video of which is interconnected with all this as well. That is on my Patreon or my YouTube member section. I won't play the whole thing, but it goes into the Jeffrey guy and how it's connected to what this show's about creating a new human species and whatnot. Let me upload that real quick. It's going to play when I hit upload.
Yeah. And guys, this is why like on, oh, sorry.
No, it just plays when I upload it. it plays.
Go ahead and play it, brother. I was just going to say that's why they do them big major rituals on August 21st, because it's 128 in reverse. So you see a lot of major rituals on that day as well.
Sure. I'll play. The bridge collapsed on January 28th.
Yep.
I'll play a clip of this real quick. Atlantis as Antarctica and the Atlanteans as engineers. Timaeus and Critias dialogues. Plato recounts a lost civilization that flourished 9,000 years before his time. Plato lays emphasis on the fact that this is not a tall tale. He claims to have grown up with a manuscript of Atlantis in his household. It has the very great advantage of being a fact and not a fiction. So right there, that symbol, and I'm getting this from Reza Giorgiani's information, and also it's connected to dark journalist information as well. But the Atlantis plays a huge role in that movie Snake Eyes. They were at the Atlantis Hotel in Atlanta, the ATLians, and this is Plato's Atlantis. This is how it's designed. And over at Jeffrey's house, Jeffrey's house, where they were doing these hybrid breeding programs, he had this symbol there. It pops up right there. Oh, there it is.
Yep.
It's hard to get it right there. So I'm going to play this clip wherever it is that's closer to that. And Poseidon, the god of the sea, who was a trident welding Poseidon, and on Epstein Island. It should be fine. I have this on my YouTube. So there's a trident welding Poseidon, and Poseidon, the god of the sea, who was worshipped by the Atlanteans. Even in Epstein's. Oh no, I keep saying it, but it should be fine.
Yeah, it should be fine. I mean, tons of people have it on their YouTube. But it goes all the way back into that Atlantean technology and why Atlantis fell, because they tried to merge with this technology, with this hive mind. And that's the true fall of Atlantis. It was the technology that collapsed it. You know, you can't merge with this type of technology. And it gets into the archons, guys, because when you really look into the archons and what they are, these entities, they're described as some AI, arachnid, reptilian type interdimensional entity, not from far away aliens from another space civilization. They're from the lower astral plane known as the eighth sphere. This reality that's like a subdimension of our reality, right? That's where they are. So it's not like they're coming away from a faraway star system like we're being sold on. That's part of the deception, in my opinion. Anyways, like a demon. Shout out to my boy Jay Dreamers.
Yeah, he goes over Hyperborea. So when I was putting this together, I was thinking about him. But Hyperborea being what the New Schwabenland, what the National Socialists were looking for, they thought it was in Antarctica, and they were looking for Atlantis. And right here,
create too, brother, the New World Order, the New Atlantis. It's all about the New Atlantis, right? Mount Meru at the center. Yeah, this is what Jay gets into.
And then right here in the middle, you see how it's the National Socialist symbol with the four moving Swazi thing, you know. That's the four rivers of Eden, according to the Theosophists. That's connected to this Thule society, which is this elite society that's connected to Wall Street and all that. It's crazy.
It's also representation of Polaris. That's where they get that symbol from. That what you're talking about, that the Germans used in World War II. That symbol that they put on that red flag, it comes from the constellation of Polaris, which goes into the North Pole And you know, the aurora borealis, which we've seen in this series when she goes to the hotel, some ice hotel in Iceland with her girlfriend before they upload that parasite and it takes over the consciousness of all humanity. One of the last memories they had together, they were staying at that hotel, and this is trending right now, guys, on Apple TV. So all this is happening as we just get hit with this massive cannibal. It was called a cannibal solar flare, right? And it caused aurora borealis to show up in places like Arizona, Ohio, all kinds of places that we've never seen it before. I'm 42 years old. I've never seen the aurora borealis in Ohio until the beginning of 2020, which I think it's tied to some type of, my personal opinion on this, as we're going through some type of cyclical reset that happens every so often. And they know this. I think they know this. That's my opinion on it. Yeah, the geometric storm.
I called it a coronal mass ejaculation as a joke.
That is so hilarious. But them coronal mass ejections or ejaculations, as my brother Donut calls it, you know, certain people in certain groups think that that is what is unlocking what they call that junk in our human biology, that double strand, the D word that we want to stay away from. It's unlocking that, releasing the 12 strands, which allows you to interface with all 12 dimensions of reality, and gives you certain abilities, telekinesis, telepathy. You know, there's many schools of thought on this theory, but
Yes,
it's all about hacking that sequence, right?
and we see this with the Super Bowl, which I believe these rituals at the Super Bowl is put on by Apple. I believe Apple took over the Pepsi to Apple, and
I'll find out for you.
Yeah, this new Super Bowl is at the Field of Genes, the Levi Stadium.
No way.
Yeah, so Levi Stadium is the Field of Genes, and so it's definitely all connected to it. With Kendrick Lamar with his bell bottoms, his goose with the fur, and oh, you know what's weird? You know that song "Bell Bottom Dude, the goose with the fur"? Doesn't goose with the fur kind of sound like Lucifer, goose fur?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you slow, yeah,
It's the phonetic magic.
Especially if you like really slowed it down, right? Apple Music is the title sponsor of Super Bowl halftime show. It took over from Pepsi starting with Super Bowl in 2023, guys. So you got the 223, right? Because you dropped
322. Yeah, they just had the UFC 322.
Yep, and 223 literally in that English ordinal cipher, skull and crossbones equals 223. It's also tied to harp, which was patented on 8/11 of 1987, the 223rd day of the year. So yes, Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show. Now they're the ones running it, and so of course they're going to be programming us and like my brother says, priming the populace with their series that are coming out. And this one was so big, man. I mean, it blew my mind when I seen it. They did it from a comic perspective. You know what I mean?
What, the show? Pluribus?
Yeah. The show that we're talking about right now. They did it from like, because that girl, she was funny, right?
Show. It's good show.
The one Indian guy, he's like, "Oh, I want humanity to stay this way," because he's over there like banging all these hive-mind girls, chicks. They'll just do whatever you tell them. You can ask them, "Go get me this," and they'll go get it for you, or do this and they'll do it. Like they're like, "We just want you to be happy." So he's living his best life because he's dating girls that would never touch him.
He's having his Bacchus ritual.
Yeah. He's doing his thing, right? So he don't want it to go.
He's going to be disenchanted. I think they're going to become friends eventually because he's going to be disenchanted with that life of the human dilemma of, because he gets everything. That's what I think is going to happen. He pulls
up. They set up a meeting to talk to all the people that were not affected by this parasite that took over humanity through the trails in the sky left by the airplanes after they created that gene sequence, right? And he pulls up in Air Force One. He's got the president's freaking plane, and then he's got all these models on the plane. He's drinking champagne. They're bringing him food. I mean, it was crazy. He's just living his best life. And she even yells at him. She's like, "You keep sticking your you know what into these things, and you don't even know what they are." So
yeah, that was funny. But it's by the creators of Breaking Bad. So that was sort of the relationship of Jesse Pinkman and Mr. White too, in the beginning. And so I think that's sort of the introduction to their friendship, but I could be wrong. Who knows? But just, I watched Breaking Bad like a million times. I love that.
You might be right, though. Yeah, Breaking Bad was amazing. And great catch. I never even knew that was on. So what? That's on our money. The name of the show.
Mm-hmm, yeah, the Pluribus, the Latin word for, right here. One out of many one. Yeah.
Out of many one. And that's what it's all about, the hive mind. Guys, when I seen this, because we were planning on just doing a show and like coming on here and talking to you guys about, just what's going on in society. And then I'm like, Donut, I seen this new show, bro. I started binge watching it. I said, there's 3 episodes out already. You got to watch it. And Donut, he ordered it just to watch it, Apple TV. And look on that symbol there in the center. Tell me that don't look like the Fleur-de-Lis, bro, which is the Merovingian bloodline. And Fleur-de-Lis equals 666. Don't that look like the Fleur-de-Lis? You see what I'm talking about?
It is.
Oh, okay. So that gets into that Merovingian bloodline. Fleur-de-Lis equals 666.
And it's the 13 colonies, and there's 13 people that aren't like infected by the Pluribus mind.
Wow, yeah. The 13 is the death card in the tarot deck. So it's the death of the individuality, right? It's the death of your individuality and the merging of this hive mind. And so you're no longer an individual. You are we now. Nobody calls themselves like, "Hi, I'm Tommy Truthful." They say this vessel I'm inhabiting is this person. So they all like keep referring to themselves as we or us. And she's like, she gets so frustrated with it. She's like, "Who is this us you keep talking about?" Because she's pretty sure they're aliens. What do you think, Donut? What's your opinion? What rating do you give? We're at 118 into this live. Perfect number for this thing. Me personally, I give it a rating of, I give it an 8. I liked it a lot. What do you think, brother? What did you think of the show? What rating would you give it?
I would give it a 10. It's really good. Yeah. I like it, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I would give it like an 8.5. I saved the 10s for, but yeah, you're right. It's
well, y'all know me. Like, whenever I bring up a lot of shows on here, they go very viral. You recommended it. Third World Assassin did a show on it yesterday, and he had a lot of good breakdown on it as well. It just goes into everything that I've been looking into with the happiness cult, and the ratio, how everyone has joined a socialist on the left and the right collective group think through algorithmic AI. So it goes into that too.
Is that a 1? Is that a 1 right there where the eye is supposed to be?
So this is not this is somebody made this, so it's not a official.
No, but that's how it's spelled on Apple TV.
Yes.
Too.
Oh yeah. It is a 1.
So that's a 1. They use a 1 instead of. That's fascinating.
Because they're 1. They're like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's interesting though. Because
mhm.
that changes up some, things there. I didn't even notice that part.
Yeah, but yeah, to look it up, it's also, spelled pluribus,
Right.
but yeah, Tommy, truthful. Everybody click that like button. We got over 1,000 people up in here still. We're covering this new show, Pluribus, plus all your Illuminati news. Tommy, go get his YouTube channel. And also today will be the last day for the 7-day free trial over on the membership site. Go check out that and get Wicked Smart. Click that link below. I'm going to end that tonight, pretty much tomorrow in a few hours for tomorrow. So
Is that on your Patreon, brother, for my people that are watching?
Yes, my Patreon, where you can get a bunch of exclusive access where we're going over a lot of information. And also I got Tommy's links down below for his decodes. He does decodes as well. And you have a Thanksgiving sale.
Yeah. We got a Black Friday sale. So for the price of $35, it's sent right to your email, guys. And you get the free upgrade, $62 decode for the price of $35. You just click on that link. You could use Apple Pay or debit, whatever. I just host it on PayPal for secure checkout, or you can go right to the website, truthfultv.com. And even spelled this way, Pluribus with the one donut. In the oldest form of Gematria, Chaldean, and Sepentry, it's 31, which is tied to the matrix. So it doesn't matter which way you spell it. If you spell it out or you throw the 1 in there, it still comes back to the matrix, the 118. So that's very fascinating. And I'm sure they knew that when they made it.
It's wild. And we'll keep y'all updated. Anyway, it's Donut and Tommy Truthful.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. We'll see y'all soon. Much love.
Love y'all.
God bless you.
Throw me the limbs, I don't need no formula. Call me Caligula. God on earth, I don't need no Jupiter. Call me Caligula. Roman flames while I feed my insula. Call me Caligula. Horse in the Senate and gold in the urinal.